Okay, let's go. We're going to do just a simple Lego set tonight with the reflected light. This set I bought a while back. I've been putting it off for a long time, but this was the last one in the shop, I think. It's kind of like last season stuff. It's a 4+ set. There's not much to it. It's got a little rat, but it's kind of old school. But they do have an eye on them. So let's open this up. I was actually I went to the shop and I think I was to get this one, specifically to get this because I thought it was about time to get the set, and they were all out. And I was actually quite disappointed. But I did manage to find it hidden away somewhere. So that's good. I'm sure they're still around in other shops, but I only go to the one shop, you see. Well, that's not true. I go to a couple of shops, but yeah, because I kind of felt like it was always being well, I'll get this when there aren't ridiculously cheap things available, and I've got it. So we're going to do it, and it's going to be fun. It's pretty straightforward. It makes me think I did actually have when I was a kid, a little yellow vehicle with a thing on it, something like that. I'm sure I could look it up on the internet. That I was quite fond of, because it came with a little a bucket like this, but it wasn't attached. You could actually it hooked on, and it had it was a very small set, smaller than this. But that little bucket area thing was lots. Oh, I was going to use my little container thing. All right, here's my. It's a bit late. It's a bit late now. Well, we'll put the rest of it in the container. Because it does go a lot better if you're not. I actually did kind of start to tidy up my desk. It's a true story. By moving the Lego off it, I'm going to have a drink of water. I wonder if my voice thing is actually something to do with the weather, because it's coming up to spring in New Zealand, and I didn't have a problem over the winter, I don't think. But now we're getting back. Maybe I'll soon be back to the having to do several coughs per episode. I definitely do feel. I think it's just there's something in the air. Flowers. That will be it. Flowers everywhere. I'll have another drink of water. Alright, so now we've got this done, and we are going to get these two. I don't want this. Go away. Those are the two little clear single stud pieces from the robot from the last video that are just sitting on the table when I need to find them. So that was a bit of a shame. Next page is, well, that's exciting. Right, and I'm a bit lost. Where do these pieces come from? Are they in there? They are in there. They're hidden away. Alright. So, one. And yeah, actually now that I look at that little rat. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. That's a slightly more. That is actually a more elaborate rat than I was expecting. So, that was one of the off-putting things. It seemed a little bit given. I obviously wasn't paying attention. Given that the more elaborate animals that we are getting in contemporary Lego world, the rat on the box is isn't that a bit old school? But it does seem I can't actually remember what the old school ones look like. But I think in hindsight it's a perfectly modern rat. This is a new piece. I've never had one of these before. It's got it's a 2x2 with a cross in the middle. That's got corrugated, serrated, whatever the word you would use, corrugated edges. I don't think corrugated is the right word, but you know what I mean. And there's two of them. So now I've got two of them, and they are all mine for whatever purposes I wish to use them for. And now we need, and there's a printed sign. Yay! That would so be a sticker and everything else. That goes there, and that goes there. I am always hoping that one day Lego says, actually we've developed a super cheap technology that can print on anything, and we're just going to never have a sticker again. It's going to be super cheap. Look at that. Look at that. So much nicer. They certainly have been able to print on these things for a long time, because this is like the most common piece to print on. But then I think the thing about these things is it would be hard to put a sticker on these, because they have that sort of funny texture, which is always a bit odd sometimes. Like, you'd think maybe they would make one that doesn't have the texture, and then they would have one that does have the texture. For the things like making a cash register or whatever out of it, maybe having a texture isn't the best thing. But I don't think anyone's actually paid any attention. I certainly haven't really paid attention to that little fact for evers. There was that whole thing about that person who made a little tiny TV, put a little tiny screen in a 3D printed one. And I just wonder if their 3D printed one was actually smooth or rough. Well, I guess because it's 3D printed. I kind of do regret now not buying a 3D printer when I had the chance to get a cheap one. But I also kind of don't regret not buying a 3D printer. There we go. Until I can find a place to store stuff, I'm not going to buy more bits and pieces. So I hope. It's very hard not to. There's just things keep getting bought. But I do throw things out and sell things. And donate things to opportunity stores, or thrift stores, if you will. So I just got to find some more stuff to throw out tomorrow. And this goes here. Today was an absolutely terrible day, so I was going to go to a thrift store, opportunity shop, but it was pouring with rain, like absolutely bucketing down. And it's one of those days you feel like complaining and grumbling and moaning, but you know that because you watch the news that in other parts of the world, like Florida and South Carolina or wherever, that's much worse. So you're like, oh, I can't complain today. Oh well. Probably the best, because I didn't get wet at all today, for any reason at all, and my house is still standing, and everything is fine. So, not going to complain. I did manage to go for a run. I was going to go for a long cycle, but that didn't happen. And I like to exercise every day, so I ended up going for a run, which I wasn't going to do because my ankle is a bit stuffed up still. It's kind of wacky. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, we haven't put this bit on. That goes. I don't think it actually matters. Yes. So I went, because my ankle is a bit strange and my back is a bit strange. Though my back did actually feel like it was actually improved today for the first time. But I went for a run and I feel okay. But then the last time I went for the run, my ankle didn't actually hurt until the next day. And then it was like, this is going to be fun. Half of this is made just by putting the pieces on the ground. Like, that's literally the instructions. Put the pieces on the ground. And then it doesn't actually go through how you put the wheels on. But I guess that's kind of obvious. And then that goes inside of the wheelbarrow. And we haven't even made the person yet. I don't even know where the rest of where their body is. Here's their top part. And that's going to go there. So they're a pretty bog standard person with their orange sunglasses. Now I have lots of safety glasses and sunglasses that I wear all the time. And none of them are that orange. So, but I guess you have to have that, because if they were clear, like most of my safety glasses are, well, they're all clear. Maybe there's like a yellow pair somewhere. That wouldn't show up. Like, you can't have a clear one or a yellow one because, well, they're yellow and they would look like they're wearing normal glasses. And that wouldn't come across. And you can't have sunglasses, because why would you look like you're wearing sunglasses? Which you probably would be wearing sunglasses, but the point is, I guess that's why they have them orange. So that was an exciting story. And we have one more thing to do. We actually have two more things to do. We have to what was that? Oh, have to make this. And this is a printed piece. And this would so be a sticker and everything else. So it's really nice. But I guess this is kind of like, it's not actually printed straight on, is it? There's like a bigger gap on, bigger bit of white on this side than there is on this side. So it's probably a tricky thing to get right with printing. It actually almost looks like it is a sticker because it's actually slightly off-centered. It feels like I put this on and didn't get it quite centered. But I didn't. It's actually printed. So, but, I mean, you know, the point is like, why do I complain about them being printed? Like, if I don't like stickers, and I always say, well, then I might want to use the pieces for something else. Well, I can't use this for anything else, can I? And you can't use those things for anything else. But I don't know. But there is one more thing. We have to put this on the top, and we have to get out a shovel. This never-ending thing where I think everyone just disagrees on what spades and shovels are actually meant for. But who knows? So can they just hold on to this? Just hold on to it. And we have our little rat. So quite fun. Quite good. I definitely, if I was a little kid, I would have actually really liked the set. It's got some interesting pieces in it, and it has a little rat. That thing there. And you get like all these extra random grey pieces. Like that somehow that would have been kind of useful for me like when I was a kid. So I like this set because for some reason it makes me think of my youth. You know, when I was shoveling rubbish and moving things with wheelbarrows and there were rats everywhere. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. So that's the final model. I didn't actually show the final model, and it just does that. That doesn't have a real seat. Do they actually sit down? Hold on. Just one last thing. One last thing. Do they actually sit well on those? They kind of do. Alright. And they pop off. They have a lot of that red piece, but not red, but black. But that kind of piece at the pick-a-brick at the moment. But I'm like, how many? What would I use it for? What do I need that piece for? Anyway, thanks for watching. I wish they had actually know that if they had printed something on these, that would have been cool. But you know, because road cones always have something on them. Thanks for watching. Bye.